How is it going, everybody? I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another video here on our channel. I'm the FIFA Analyst. Today we have a very interesting topic for you guys. Something that I get asked a lot in my Twitch streams. How do you combat the script? How do you combat DDA? What do you do to overcome it? All that sort of thing. I thought today we could have an open discussion about scripting, dynamic difficulty adjustment, and just FIFA 20 in general. Now, the one thing I do ask you, because this is everyone has their own strong opinion on it, I'd say, keep it civil in the comment section, nice and whatnot, and we can have a little bit of a debate about it. Now, you might be sitting here thinking, Analyst, what is DDA? What is scripting? What are you going on about? So dynamic difficulty adjustment, scripting is basically where, long story short, people believe that there's one thing called sliders. So in offline, it's proven, EA have said, yes, there's something called sliders. So say if you go 3-0 up, the computer AI might have, at the minute they're all at 50, they might have a slider where it goes up and gives them, a bit more pace, a bit more advantage, better defending, that sort of thing. And that is in offline. Now, obviously, when it comes to online, the purpose is that it's a 1v1 online. Yes, it's still controlled by the AI, but it's not like it's the AI completely doing everything for you. So they've not said that it's online, and I don't think they ever would, even if it was. So people believe that when you go 2-0 up, 3-0 up online, you can't make a pass. Every shot you take gets blocked. Every shot you take hits the post or goes wide. And, you can't do the skill move. It doesn't input the command, or your passes go wayward. Just absolutely everything goes wrong. And people start to, blame scripting, DDA, and then they lose 4-3 in the 90th minute, and, that they moan and they moan and they moan. Now, my standing on scripting and DDA, because some people believe that EA physically come into your game and go, you shall not pass. You shall not win, is what they kind of think. Do I think it is real? I think people get confused between DDA scripting and what's called RNG, which is random number generator. Random number generator is in pretty much every game. And what it means is that if I get into a one-on-one position with Mbappe, who has, I don't know what composure he has, if he has 94 composure and 92 finishing, that then means that he doesn't have 99 out of 99. Let's say, for example, actually, that someone has 99 finishing, 99 composure, 99 attacking, positioning, shot, everything. Everything's maxed out, right? And they get into a scenario where they're one-on-one with a keeper. There's a defender just on his shoulder, and you finesse it, and it goes round the keeper, and it goes in. If you repeat that exact same scenario 100 times, does it go in 100 times? No. That's random number generator. Even though you've got maxed out stats, and it probably should, the game adds an element of randomness because of what it is. It's a football game. And what they're trying to say, EA, obviously, is that, well, real life, Messi, Ronaldo, whoever it is, some of the best players in the world, they get into the same scenarios. Do they finish them every single time? And the argument is no, they don't, because they're human. Should it be that when you get into that scenario every time, should it find the back of the net? Video game wise, yes. Real life, trying to emulate a football simulator, no. However, this isn't a football simulator. It's a video game. It shouldn't be trying to emulate real life football. If we wanted to emulate real life football, we'd be playing a 90-minute game. Everything would be manual. Nothing would be assisted. That would be a football simulator. You think about simulator games, flight simulator, you can get a lot of military games that are really, really like simulated, where they're a lot more hardcore. Football and FIFA, this isn't a hardcore game. Call of Duty's not a simulator, it's an arcade game. Battlefield's an arcade game. You can go onto PC, there's a game called Squad, that's a bit more of a simulator, it's more tactical, a lot more difficult. And FIFA's not on that. So that's where it gets wrong. AI blocks is nothing to do with scripting, DDA. It's just the game assisting the player. That's all it is. It's completely wrong. The majority of if you want someone to block the ball and you're not controlling them, it shouldn't happen. I don't care about defensive reactions. I don't care about their defending stats. The game physically shouldn't do it for them. If someone gets into a position to take a shot, and I'm not talking about the blocks where I take a shot and the guy's standing there and he blocks it, with his shoulder or something. I'm talking the ones where Superman comes 5 yards out of the way and decides to do some scorpion kick to clear it off the line. That's what the problem is with, with blocking. So that's not DDA or scripting. The game doesn't come in and say, you shall not score here. It's just the AI assisting for him. Now, what I think is a bit of psychology, a bit of emotional. You notice this sort of stuff when you're losing. When you're winning, you tend to brush it off more. You don't care so much, so you don't think about it. But then as soon as you're losing, or you're drawing, and it's later on in the game, and you get emotional and you get attached, something happens in the game that makes you go, scripting, DDA, EA are against me, or whatever it is. And it's like, well, you're facing this way, and you try to play a pass that way. Passing in its separate entity is completely broken. But let's be real here. If you're facing that way, and you want to pass the ball that way, and you're trying to turn and pass, chances of error does get higher. Now, when you're facing this way and you want to pass directly in front of you and it's a pathetic pass, again, it's random number generator, it's RNG, and that's the problem with FIFA. And what it has is that if I have the maxed out stats in passing and I'm playing a 10-yard pass, just to the next man, and for whatever reason it goes to another guy and the analog stick, even though you look back on it and you're pointing in the right direction, again, is that DDA, is that scripting? I don't think so. I just think it's the game coded wrong, having its fundamental core issues, and being frustrating like that. Now, do I believe that 45th minute and 90th minute are a thing? Again, I think it's psychology. Now, I think kickoff's a thing. 45th minute and 90th minute. What I believe is that as a player, we believe that the 45th minute and 90th minute has more chance of finding the back of the net. So what then happens is you go, it's a 45th minute, get forward, let's get a shot off. And you shoot from an angle or a position where you normally wouldn't shoot because you just believe 45th minute, 90th minute. If you tried that same shot over and over again, any other moment of the game, I think you'd be surprised on how many times, you do find the back of the net. For me, I take shots in the 45th minute, 90th minute where I think, I don't know, I would never took that shot anywhere else. I'd just go 45th minute, 90th minute, seems to be a thing, and you do it. And then you back it up because sometimes you score. But if you score in the 32nd minute, do you keep track of every time you score in the 32nd minute? No, because we just think 45th and 90th minute is kind of one of those things on there. Things like hitting the post, things like the opponent hitting the post and then it falling back to the attacking, positioning, and they get the goal that way. You can say what you want on that. That can be a multiple of factors. Your defenders have slow reactions. Your guys have a high attacking positioning, so that's why they get the rebound. And for me, I don't look at that sort of thing because if an opponent has managed to get a shot off on goal, I normally think, well, what could I have done differently to have stopped that shot? So I'm not bothered too much about the rebounds as a whole. I had a clip on Twitter the other day where the ball ended up going through Militao's leg. Militao's leg was here and the ball was wrapped around his leg like that. And the pass went through and he scored in the 90th. Just bad coding. The game's just very, very bad coding. That it's such an by the seams of it, out of date platform that they use that's been around obviously since the Frostbite engine came in, and they don't have a clue how to kind of sort it. It almost needs tearing down and rebuilt from the ground up. We need more attacking. We need an attacking game first of all. As I said, we're not here to emulate real life football. Don't get me wrong. I think you should be able to play multiple play styles on FIFA. If you want to play attacking, you want to play possession, you want to play drop back, you want to play whatever you want to play, please do, because that's what football is. That's what the art of football, that it gives you different ways to play to play. That should be available in FIFA, but there should be negatives to certain ones, whether that's you get caught on the counter when you hold possession. Someone, if they're good enough, can team press well instead of just pressing down and left on the D-pad. Manual pressing should be a thing. If you want to play drop back, you get punished for it in terms of stamina, or in terms of it's very easy for someone to bang in a long shot. You need to find ways to not very easy to bang in a long shot, but you get the idea. You need to find ways to combat it and make it more efficient on that front. So it is very much a heated debate, and I personally think that, so the mentality that I have is that there's big issues with FIFA, right? The game is nowhere near perfect. I teach the fundamentals of play the way you're facing, look for the most meta ways to score, near post, double tap pass, use a certain skill moves, try and play football, try and move the ball around well, try and send people on a run, that sort of stuff. But obviously, yes, the game needs to kind of change around in the way it is and the way it's built. It does definitely have its issues, and I just want them to kind of do a lot more with it. Now, when I am teaching people, I ask you to try and put it all to a side and focus on what you can do as a player. If at the end of the game, you can sit there and say, there is not another single thing I could have done to win that game, move on to the next one. If you go, all right, he got a lucky rebound, but the only reason why he got the ball was because I passed it straight to him 2 minutes ago in the middle of the park, I don't really know how you can blame the game. Even if you get to lucky rebound, don't get me wrong, if you defend it perfectly and it glitches through your leg like it did with me the other day, for example, where I put a man in front of the pass and it went through his leg, there's nothing you can do about that. I understand being frustrated with that. But if you defend just normally and the guy gets a shot off and it finds the back of the net, but you gave the ball away 2 minutes ago, it's kind of your fault, really. You shouldn't give the ball away. Or, you know, if you get in on goal and you, instead of, even though ball rolling's not real, you know, as in ball rolling the keeper's not what you would do in real life. If you don't ball roll the keeper in a one-on-one scenario and you try and chip him and it hits the crossbar in the 90th and you go, why did that not go in? Well, you've got to think about what's your highest percentage of chance of scoring, and you've got to try and basically kick out the RNG. So looking for the near post, it's the most efficient way of scoring. It's got less RNG. The percentage of scoring at a near post is higher than going across goal or looking for a finesse shot across goal. So you've really got to try and increase those percentages. Rookie numbers, you know, you got to get them nice and high. You got to get them up to increasing that and trying to limit the amount of RNG that you can have in the game. As I said, don't get confused. The game is broken. Very much so, and I understand why people do go DDA scripting. What I think is that people jump on a bandwagon and blame the game because they made a mistake and they lost and they got emotional. I'm not defending them. I'm not defending EA. I'm not defending the game because it's wrong. It's a bad game, right? I'm just asking you that if you are don't get me wrong, if you're sitting here watching this and you go, I don't want to improve, I don't care. I just want to play a nice, fun game, and I don't care if I make a mistake. I just don't want rebound goals. I don't want this. I don't want that. This is the wrong video for you. This channel's about trying to improve at FIFA. And that's why I ask people to put it to the side. Just accept that the game's not perfect and there's issues with it. And just work on what you can control, right? I can't control, I'm going to go and buy a lottery ticket and I'm going to win the lottery. Like my control, you know? I can't control what the missus says to me, or, you know, whatever it is, you can't control it. So just focus on what you can and you'll see results from it. And it is a frustrating game. It does have its issues, but to answer it, long story short, do I think dynamic difficulty, do I think scripting is real? No. I think people are very emotional, blame the game too much, and don't take ownership themselves, really. But the game does have problems. Like a love-hate relationship, isn't it? This, you don't know which way I'm going to go. Am I going to say I love it? Am I going to hate it? I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of my opinions on it. As I said, let me know your opinions down in the comment section. I am happy for this to be a discussion, but keep it civil, because the majority of you are going to go, Analyst, yeah, you're wrong. Scripting's real. Look at this video. Look at this. It did this. It did that. Each their own. Each their own. That's just my opinion on it. I was getting a lot of questions. It makes more sense to make a video on it than it does to keep answering the same question over and over again. I hope you enjoyed this one. Bit different. If you did, let me know by dropping a like. Thank you all for listening. Thank you all for watching. Do appreciate it. And I'll catch you all in the next video.